finish. Let's finish the drag. Boom. Here. I'm here. Remember, I'm turning the hips around because I know this leg is tough to deal with because it's either going to keep it on the ground or it's going to come up and he's going to push it to regain his guard back. And then I'm passing again. So I need to turn the hips. Does that make sense? So watch. When I go in and I'm eating the leg drag, boom, I'm turning the hips. So I'm turning my hips just like that. Look, now it's exposing his back. So now I can either keep going this way or push and then get to the back. All right? So let's do that. Let's enter, turn the hips, push, and then let's get to our seatbelt. So our seatbelt, remember, this is our seatbelt. It looks exactly like what it is. Seatbelt grip. All right? Choking hand is protected. The hand that I can choke him with, which is the hand over the shoulder, we're protected. All right, so boom. I enter, turn the hips, push, seatbelt grip, and we're gonna stop right here. 15 on each side to the seatbelt grip. Questions? All right, let's get into it. 2 claps on the rig. Woo! Get underneath the elbow. Yeah. Hey, a lot of times that's gonna happen where he's protected. So when you here and you go in here, look, I can dive here first, and then I can go around. Because it's gonna be hard once you get this and you on top of that. So let's kill it first. Here, he's tight. Let's dive underneath, open his elbow up, and then let's take it back. What's going on? What's up? What's your name? Who?
Demar.
Nice to meet you, Mark. Mark.
Nice to meet you.
How you doing? How you doing? How's the trip?
So fun.
Was it your first time on the trip?
It's the craziest. I went to a club there and it was like my eyes got shut.
I thought you said you do it.
So we can put them way back away.
That's the falls in my life. That's the only time, bro.
Yeah, you're like smashing the head.
Right here. It's got it showing me. You can go ahead and get your arm up under here.
You want to try?
Like the leg drag, you'll have one here and knee like that, and you'll pull it like that.
That's when we want to
Now when you make your transition back over, get your seat lower up, go ahead and try to nod your hand in there. And now when you go over,
Are you like newer or like how long you trained? You mean like my kid or what do you ask? Yeah, so like this is just like.
All right, let's bring it in right quick. Let's do, because I've seen this a couple times, trying to get this seatbelt grip. So I'm not saying you can't pass if you don't have the seatbelt or want the seatbelt, you still got to pass. But if you want to take the back, right? So a lot of times he's going to be tight right here with the elbow. So it's going to be hard for me to get my seatbelt once I pass, because I'm going to pass like this, And it's gonna be hard to get that elbow out of there, all right? Because it's already gone. He's doing what he's supposed to do and keeping it tight. So what we're gonna do, what we can do if your intention is to take the back, use my opposite elbow to open up his elbow, right? So I'm here, there, opposite elbow, push down, open, and then look. Now I got a gift wrap, I can do my seat belt, I got an arm in triangle, right? So, or I can still just turn around and get to the back. Questions on that? So one more time. I get to the leg drag position, he's tight, his elbow comes over, I push down, swing him under, get the grip, and then it's all what I want to do from there. Got me? All right, let's get into it. 2 claps in the ring. Woo!
What's up? Still hurt?
That hook is
Once this motherfucker
hold that leg out. Make it pressure. More back. I love it. You like it? I love it. We gotta get hooks in. Let's not take the back without hooks, because all you're gonna do is jump over your legs and you're gonna be gone. So when you slide through, gotta be subtle, especially if you're gonna like make a quick transition once you get there. So this elbow's tight, I dig down, and then look, watch me slide. So I slide up his back with this knee, right, all the way up his back. I lift him up. Hook, hook, hook. Now here's the back. So again, got the leg drag, elbows tight. It's almost like a slide. It's almost like one motion, but we'll slow it down. So the knee would come down here. I lift his knee up, slide the knee under, throw this foot over, and then I can keep him right here and start working. Or I can go back down and then I got my top hook. But the bottom hook is always an important hook, because that's how you escape. If I don't put the top hook in, it doesn't matter. But if I don't put the bottom hook in, he's gone. Good? That hook in though. Good. All right, bring it in. So we're gonna work that in as drills. That's our drilling section, is our leg drag to the back, to whatever the submission of your choice is. But that'll be our drilling session when we work that particular move. So the lesson for tonight, we've been working in De La Riva. Last week we were kind of setting up De La Riva sweeps, submissions, things like that. This week we're more focused on passing De La Riva. All right, so we'll talk about a few of them today. De La Riva to me in no-gi is a little more, you trying to grab, it's a little more difficult, right? Because there's not a lot of grip, so he can grab my arm, but he can't keep my arm. It's hard, right? But obviously in gi, you can grab a lot of different things, but in no-gi, it's a little more complicated for him. So the first things first, for De La Riva, which one of these legs do you think I'm mostly in danger for?
The one is wrapped around.
The hook. Why the hook? Right. There's a lot of control when he's putting pressure on my knee, right? Even with this, right? Even with him having a grip or a foot on my leg, this is the one I'm mostly concerned about, because if I clear this one, that one doesn't really matter. But if I clear that one's still an issue for me. Does that make sense? So I gotta learn to do both, to clear and work both. So the first pass we're gonna do is fairly easy, but it all stems and revolves around getting this hook off and removing this. One of the things that I've learned in De La Riva from passing is my De La Riva passing is a lot stronger when I turn my knee into him, as opposed to doing this when he pushes, you know, it stretches me out. This, I'm a lot stronger, so when he pushes, I have more ability to push into him with this, and I'm giving him less surface area to work from. So I always turn my knee in like I'm in a runner stance. So first thing we're gonna do is I'm going to clear this hook and I'm going to clear this one almost simultaneously. All right, so I'm pushing down on both, just like that. All right, so again, he can have a grip on my foot, it doesn't matter. But first, I'm turning in and I'm going to push down on both. All right, from here, there's a few different things I can do. I can punch this leg in that way, or, and the first one we're gonna do, probably one that you may or may not have seen, but really and truly you can you can knee cut from both directions, right? I like to knee cut going this way. A lot of people knee cut going that way, which is fine, but either one works. So let's start with that one since that's the most common. So in, push, look, once I push the leg off, I'm turning my knee out. And what's the reason why I'm doing that? If he tries to regain his hook, it's a lot harder. If my leg was in and he tries to regain his hook, it's a lot easier. All right, so once I push this off, I'm turning my knee out. All right, so I'm going from this, I'm going to take my arm that was on the leg and I'm going to go to the hip. As I'm going to the hip, I'm going to slide my body across, bring my underhook down, opposite hand to the tricep, pulling up, kind of like we did in fundies here. That's why we tying it all together. Sliding with a knee cut, walking my hips back, and then gaining my side control. All right? So here, turn my knee in, push both down, walk my leg and turn my knee out. Hand goes to the hip. I'm turning and sliding my knee across. I'm getting real low with my back because I don't want this leg to come over to regain the guard. So I'm getting real low here, pulling up on the arm, knee cutting through, walking the hips, side control. Questions on that? Anybody need to see it again? All the ones we're gonna do is gonna stem from this position so we can spend a little less time on the prep work. Everybody good? All right, let's make it happen. 2 claps in a row. Woo!
Sound like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, except for your belly here, right? Turn this in, pushing. So push down. Turn it in, let it up.
You gotta walk the hips. You said something about walking the hips.
Give me it for mine.
Like after you get from that part, the knee thing, he said something about walking the hips.
Turn your knee out. Go to the hip.
Do the little walk thing. Hey, what's that little walking thing? Walking your hips.
Walking the what? The knee?
You said walking the hips or something.
Oh, with the hand?
You said like after you got from the little knee.
Oh, yeah. I'll show you. So you push, slide. So once you get there, so let me show you. Because you see how his knees are facing? This is how he gets his guard back. So come this way a little bit. So what I mean by once you knee cut and you pass, here, pull up on the arm. My hips hit the ground, and I'm going to use my hips to walk his knees back. You see where his knees are facing now? Now I can take the back, or now it's going to be harder for him to regain his guard. Right? If his knee is facing me and I pass, he's got a better chance of regaining his guards because his hip is facing me.
How you gonna regain his guards?
So when I go here, that knee is gonna come in, especially in no gi. It's really bad. Gi is a little harder because you got the friction, but in no gi, you wanna, both really, once you pass, you wanna walk the hips back to get his hips. Now if he tries to regain his guard, it's a lot harder because his hips are facing that way. Does that make sense? Yeah. Does that make sense? Got any questions? At Purge BJJ.
You wanna hop in? You wanna hop
Walk the leg out. Once you click it,
Nico's aren't as good.
Yeah, so here. You're gonna turn this in, so you can't push it as hard.
Yeah.
Push down, and then he's saying hold it like that.
Put the hand over here, that way I can't just lift my leg right back up. And then you're on knee slice.
Make sure you get the underhook too. You want the knee slice. Like I like to knee slice across the body. So like if I'm gonna pass on the left side, I'm going to my right. If that makes sense. Like if I'm gonna knee slice first and I want to go this way, I'm gonna use this leg. So I'm gonna like come in like that.
For some reason, I want to go to this side.
Yeah, yeah.
because if I don't get it, I will happen. But if I don't walk his hips back and I pass, and then I get ready to square up, watch his legs.
That's what I did.
His legs start coming in. That's why we want to try to walk his hips back as much as possible.
Now, the next thing you want to do is push, put one hand on your arm first. One hand here, push down, and then you have to turn.
Yeah, so I gotta lift it and then do the scoop. Then do the scoop and everything.
Now you're going to lift this hand out. Okay, push this hand down.
That's good enough to square that way.
Yeah, so you want to you're gonna
While you're doing that, you're going to go slide down, push your hips over, and then you turn. I don't know why this all this is just forgot real quick.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's I think it's because he did a lot of stuff.
So you're like, he turned his head around, shut down.
Even if you can't, he'll probably close his leg, but at least it gives you the opportunity to not do what you should do. Especially if you remember, the only way I can get squared with him in regular side control is I gotta turn my hips. And I mean, I can let you space, but even when I turn my hips, you see I'm automatically making a space for him to get his legs back. So I'm gonna square back up unless I step over to my side. So once I get here, pull up on his arm, I wanna try to get his hips turned down.
I don't know when I'm like,
See what I'm saying? Now I
it feels good like laying on my stomach. So when you're nervous, you know that you have a choke.
But if I just
I don't know.
slide through, I just like this, and I turn,
Then when you're
the knee is coming down, I gotta block the knee and walk this out here. So try to walk your hips back, it may not work, depending on what this leg does, but if you just turn it over.
Then you just roll back.
just like you know, drop that frame, and then you jump right there, just open your back up.
You want to try, bro? And I like to do something like this.
Like
Like you're pushing your hands where it's like walks on. You can go like this, and I'm just gonna say,
Turn your knees outside.
then you gotta push it in.
You put your hand on there,
Yep, and then you
correct?
slide it up.
And then while you're doing your knee slice, you're gonna go into the underhook to that
And
same.
even if I miss it, but go ahead.
You still, but this hand right here, you're using the elbow drag the other leg down, right?
Yeah, yeah. So once I've punched and walked, then I go here and then I pull this one down. Just like that. And then once I'm able to get this one past, then I can start eating. I can start eating. That makes sense. So pushing that one down. I'll make sure we're gonna hit ourselves. That's what a deep cut is, man.
Why you gotta tuck them in the middle of that? Fucking eat that another gun.
Alright, bring it in.
As soon as I land.
Yeah, that's about the chill. I've been standing on business, spinning.
So,
Catch on, can find the winners.
one of the things also that I want to try to avoid, especially in knee cutting through De La Riva, is getting caught in a reverse De La Riva. Not that it's a huge problem, but now I got to pass this too, so I got to do things differently. So one of the ways we can do that, of course, if he had on a gi, then I'm pushing his leg down as I'm dragging. But in no gi, this seat grip is, I'm going to use this to help get my knee pass, right? So once I'm able to eat all this, I'm getting to the hips and I'm turning his hips that way. As I'm going, I'm using my C grip to push this down to the mat, right? And now that I'm on my thigh, I don't have to worry about the reverse De La Riva. So once I can get there, then I can start, coming up on the arm or continuing to pass my De La Riva pass. But I have to avoid the reverse De La Riva, I have to push this all the way down, all right? Because if I don't, then I'm gonna get caught just like that, and now I gotta do other things. So as you are doing, especially this pass from De La Riva, push this all the way to the mat until now you can set on your butt, and then you can start finishing the pass. Questions on that?
So it's better to push the ankle than like the thigh.
Yeah, because if I push this, that's still a hook. If I push that, that's no longer a hook. Same thing if I had if it was gi. If it was gi, I mean, if this is the only thing I can get, then I'm pushing it. But I really want right between the knee and the ankle, right? Kill the hook the way that I need it to be. So I always try to go below the knee, because anything at the knee or above, he still can hook, especially somebody that's flexible. It's not gonna matter. But if I can get below that, then I can kill him. Questions on that particular one?
What's a De La Riva?
Huh?
What's a De La Riva?
That's what we were doing. This is the De La Riva right here.
I thought it was
The reverse De La Riva is this.
Uh,
All right, so De La Riva is outside the leg. Reverse De La Riva is on the inside of the leg.
I thought it was like a submission or something.
Now there's some submissions from there, but we ain't gonna talk about those today. Any questions on that one? All right, so sometimes, and keep in mind, this is important. I'm telling you, if you can stop doing this and start doing this, it's gonna change the game for you when it comes to passing De La Riva. All right, and it's gonna make it easier to push this down as opposed to trying to do this one, right? Now he's getting deep De La Rivas, coming up in singles, and it's getting weird. All right, so this, but sometimes it's difficult to push this down, right? So I can also pull this leg up. I don't need to always push it down. I can pull the leg up. All right, so if I do, and I'm still doing the same thing with this side, I'm still pushing the knee down. But if I do decide to pull up on the leg, now I'm gonna do a knee cut the opposite way. All right, so I'm going push, open, pull, and then look, instead of winning this, I'm going to win this side. And this leg is gonna come through for a knee cut. Right?
Yeah.
All right, so same principles apply. Instead of pushing down, I push and pull. Just like that. I'm still walking the knee out, and then I'm hips, underhook, opposite knee comes through, and I'm winning the knee cut. And then look, I got an arm for my queries. All right, one more time. Boom. Questions on that? All right, make it happen. 2 claps on the Rick. Woo! Yeah. Talk to
Some mathematics.
Keep pushing it down. Keep pushing. And then that's not gonna stop you from cutting. So yeah. So you're still going that way. So let me show you. So this doesn't stop you from cutting.
Honestly, a lot of those like cross-body ones,
Going here,
those sides are pretty
still
good. I actually hit those
So I'm
sometimes.
going here, and I'm still up.
You're hipping one way, and then you switch.
So we're gonna have to go the
That's
other
why
way.
I love doing jujitsu.
So we're gonna have to fold.
I love the friends that like that arm where you like
Bite into the thigh,
when you wrap around the arm and you
hold
choke my friend up.
You wanna try, bro?
So that was actually gonna be 40. But yeah, so you go the other way. So I push,
Using the foot.
my knee goes into the thigh, right? I'm heavy. Turn my knee out.
Make sure whenever you put that knee
on my knee cut, I just jumped around there now. I think I can't close it one down and just like
Actually, we'll do that. We'll do that probably more. Yeah, Edo lives actually, so it's not like that. You can do it. I like it because it even works if they got a gi and they're grabbing your gi. Sometimes the knee cut doesn't work like that. So if they grab your gi, it works the same way. Just boom.
He's in my corner for my fight.
Pressure right there, and then open, and then fold. Right over your way. How old are you? Problem with this is it's dangerous because now my knee is on this side of the leg. So this is, yeah, I'm a staple to do that. This is knee bar leg lock. If my leg is on this side, then we get if my leg is over here, knee bar. So you have to keep the pressure go back. So you have to keep this away as you are working to staple. Yep, exactly. Yep. We'll do that one next. Do the one I just showed you.
even when you turn,
Got to do better at grappling.
Yeah, if you hit with both, yeah, you're gonna have most of the because that's one of the breaks for that.
I don't know. I don't really see that.
That's it. When you push, you're about to cut. Don't let me. Because like I'm gonna my knees in the even just do your normal knees. As you're reaching for the underhook, I should try to put up your knees so I don't get my knees. That's why I yeah, because like you don't want me to get my knee back.
That's who like got me into the knee cuts. I actually know him, I just watched him. That's like distributions on
So with the leg is strong.
Once you like commitment and timing problem,
yeah. You just gotta like, I just can't move something like upper lip. Because if you're sloppy with it, like,
I just do 7-7. So
if you're sloppy with it, like, it's just weird. Like you never get the.
I know it's weird. Hey, before you go for the knee cut, try to like get your hand.
You can already get an underhook.
Yeah, get
before you do
like
it.
you don't have to. Like you're already.
Yeah, that's right. That's a better way to do it.
I'm trying to come down. Like I'm in a knee slide. I already have this underhook.
I'd say
That way, like I'm preparing. That way, once I flop down, I'm not trying to like reach for a bunch of shit. You know what I mean?
And put your elbow in there.
I'd say the gear. And then
Or block with the
block
arm,
it here.
Yeah.
That one too. Because you're so long, like look at it. If I'm here, like it's so hard to move with my leg.
Reach for that underhook too.
That's the thing. Is like once you're aware of it.
There you go.
The thing is, like,
Nice. You go.
man, I'm really. Like, who'd you eat? Those are just mine. Yeah. You barely did too, because you were showing me lane. You got
I'm trying to win that every day. Yeah. He done killed you. That's why you gotta put the leg over before you go for the arm bar. That's why he got out.
I don't know. Who got it. Yep.
Damn, so as soon as I look good, I immediately go for it.
What's up? What did you say? I'm never not wearing my rash guard.
Oh, I think we'll be cold as fuck. Yeah, I would eat.
That was way too much time.
I got that from yeah, because like my arm, I'm not like yours. There's no way.
Going for an ankle.
That's one thing I've been really working on. It's like I they're always like their arms and everything down.
Yeah.
You're supposed to like do an ankle.
Turn
You're supposed to like put your head down
that.
with your head.
And then I'm gonna pull up on this. That's like good.
They're pretty bad. Terrible. Dude, and the way my shoulder felt after was even worse. For like 2 weeks, just the way my shoulder felt like doing this was like this is just the way it felt was probably the most disgusting feeling I've ever felt. It just felt like it just felt so sore. It felt like the sore muscle wasn't a muscle. It was like I do. Yeah, they both felt really good.
From it, what's your name again? One more time. Tamaris? D? Oh, nice, okay. My fourth I won't forget your name,
I mean, he still got to get
Oh, no, you did.
Well, you can't straighten your labor. You can straighten the muscles.
All right, bring it in. So we'll go to that transition. They had the same thing, so it just makes sense. Any questions on that one? All right. Let me borrow him right. Let me borrow you. Since he already, they kind of had the same questions, similar, but different, right? Yeah. So let's say I get in here and I punch and pull, right? And then this leg comes in for a knee shield, which sometimes happens, right? So now I'm passing a different guard. I'm no longer passing De La Riva. Now I'm passing a knee shield because now I can't get my knee through, right? So if that does happen, now I can go back to here. So now I'm gonna go to a different pass. And this is the same way, we'll show that in a second, but so I go here, I bite, and then I'm bringing my leg in behind the thigh. I want my knee pushing behind his thigh, just like that. So I'm still going to cut this leg through, but I went from a knee cut to more of a fold pass now. All right, so pressure, really hard pressure here behind the thigh, pushing into him. And then look, I'm turning my knee out, both knees. I'm going from here to turning here. As I do that, this knee comes through, and then I'm fold passing. I'm going to cross face because my leg is on the other side of his knee. I'm leaving myself open to leg lock. So if he opens up his knee and pushes me over, he has a knee bar. All right? And that's all because my foot is on this side of his leg. If my foot was like this, I don't have to worry about the leg lock. But because my foot ends up like this, I do. So because of that reason, I'm going to cross face, right? So I'm cross facing. Now this leg is stepping up and pulling, creating space right here. And then I can really go to mount, right? Or I can take the back. Similar to what we did a while ago. Same principles, all right? So, De La Riva, push-pull, knee shield comes in, bite, knee behind the thigh. I went from here to turn my legs this way, and as I go through, I'm going to turn like that. And there's a bunch of different ways to make him uncomfortable, but because this concept is a little new to everybody, all we're gonna do is cross face, bite. I can go to mount, or I can take the back. Questions on that? You good? So this concept works the same way if they underhook my foot. So if I look here, right, they underhook my foot. Same principles apply. Instead of going up, I go down, knee to the thigh, turn my legs out both, down, heavy pressure, open them up. I can take the back, or I can just drop to my hip, slide up into mountain. Any questions on that? Somebody need to see it again?
Let me see it one more time. Do it matter if I push or pull?
Do what?
Do it matter if I
So
push
the first one we did was when we pulled, he didn't put the knee shield in.
Okay.
So now I have to go back to the push. But from here, from De La Riva, if he has this underhook, I can do it anyway. Push down, knee goes to the thigh, turn my legs, cross face. And it's really uncomfortable. Any other questions? I'll come around and troubleshoot. All right, let's make it happen. 2 claps in a row. Woo!
I think I got this. Okay. No, I don't. And then I do a knee cut.
Me do it to you, or you got it? Yeah. So, yeah. Push. Leg behind the thigh. Turn.
They did the whole thing.
More triangle, and gabs.
Honestly, we're right at blend, right? So long.
Good. One space heavy. Yeah, stretch him out, stretch him out, stretch him out. There you go. Now you can go to mount, and it's gonna go to the back. Good.
Oh, yeah.
2 sets.
Coach.
And you pull, push. So the one we were doing, like earlier, he brings this knee shield in. So stand back up, because he's gonna be hard to pass there with his knee shield. So now you push the foot down.
That's my routine like every like month or 2.
And then
Grab the foot, there you go, push it, no, back up. Put the knee behind his thigh. Heavy, no, put it right here. Heavy pressure. Yep, so now, this knee, no, keep that one back there, this knee comes, put this knee right here. There you go. Now cross face right here with your knee. Heavy cross face, there you go. Use this foot.
yeah, like yeah, kind of.
Pull it up here. So you push your foot up here. There you go. Now you can take it like that. Good.
They're coming down like this.
Yeah. Or you can go to my either one. Get a good back straight.
Pull me that way a little bit.
I'm telling you, I compete this weekend. This is the shit I had to do to pass people who go. This ain't gonna work. Perfect. You gotta string a bunch of stuff together. Usually guard passes doesn't happen in one. You gotta string 2 or 3 of them together to make it hot. Boom. Lift up. Gets the knee shield in. Yep. Go behind it. There you go. Slide through. Slide it out. Put the knee on the mat. Slide it all the way. Put both knees on it. Stay tight though. Stay tight on it. Stay chest down. Chest down. Chest to chest. Crossface. There you go. Good. Now,
And what I'm stepping over here.
there it is. Now you take the back. Or mount. Yep. Triangle.
Okay, that makes sense.
See, it wasn't as hard as you thought, was it? You just got to do it. Stretch your mouth. Use that to stretch your mouth.
And then you can go to side control. If you're stretching me out, when you go to mount, if you stretch them out, would you always stretch them out before you go to mount them?
In that position, I was
What if you just like step over, like go over this knee?
Well, let me see why you're doing it.
I think he puts her off that way.
I don't know, man. This is gonna be tough because I haven't anything to control you. Unless I got an underhook. If I had the underhook, it'd be different. But if I don't have the underhook, because you can come to turtle. Like you can come to turtle. See what I'm saying? Because I don't have the underhook. So because I have to drop my hip down in order to come back to mount. So that's why I like
Behind the head.
then I can drop down. So now I got to
My arm is hanging up in front of it. In front of it.
I mean, I think if I have the underhook, yeah, I'll get it. But if I don't have the underhook and all I have is this, and I don't have anything to control this leg, then I'm gonna stretch it out. But if I get this underhook, yeah, I can go forward.
I don't know which one I like.
I like all of them.
I like anything that helps you.
So you'll push up, push and lift up. Lift up that one, push like here. The other one, make sure you turn right that way. So when we're right here, so I'll put it on like this. Now you'll push that down.
I can hit that. Not really.
Go back.
Yeah,
I bring it across. You turn it, turn it. Pushes to make it brown. I think you're doing something wrong again. I don't know where you're going wrong, but it's wrong. I can feel it. Try.
I like that. Yeah. I'll definitely go and play.
I am super.
Is it like if I get you there, like if I'm bringing this here, and you stop like that? Yeah. If you staple this, you technically have to like hit first forward, but you got any more reps in, bro?
Explain those where you got the person.
The legs. I have your legs.
I don't know. I think it's so
Where did that come from?
Yeah, he was. Oh yeah, Darcy's on the front.
He'll be up here in a second.
Yeah, exactly. So not making it hip turn.
Yeah, I'm about to try the mount next time.
You can go get that one. Cover. Put it there, right? Neither. Process. Take this foot. You should have. Just put your. Neither. Yeah. And that was
Get it my seat. I don't know. I just
You gonna roll today? You roll before? I get it.
Yesterday he had me straight out like,
Which guy? Down the purple? He's in the same route.
he had me like he was going like this and shit. I'm like, bro, how the fuck I supposed to do this?
Yeah, he probably got mount. He got mount on you probably, and he just, he'll stick his
Yeah, like just sat on me and shit. I'm like, bro, I can't even get out of this.
He's got the best mount.
Somebody was told me this, bro. I probably wouldn't.
So detail over detail.
I'm like, no, I don't roll.
The reason why this particular pass works is the pressure that we put into the thigh going forward. All right. Also, the turn of the knees are important too, because that makes me be able to run his hips and then walk them almost in a semicircle. So when I turn, when I drop, I can turn his hips and then walk my body in a semicircle. And now I can control his body a lot more than if I just do this. See, and now he's just gonna open me up. Now I'm fighting against that. So I really want his hips to turn just like that. And now when he tries to open me up, it becomes, because I'm not setting on his hips. I'm more on his lower leg, right? But if I was on his hips like this, then if he opens me up, then you see what and I'm trying my best not to get swept. I still got swept. So that's why, in fold passes in general, when I fold pass, I always want to be able to run his hips in a circle, just like that, and not just fall on top of him like that. And now I'm fighting all these, even though Hunter got some small ass muscles, I'm fighting all the small ass muscles in his thighs and his butt cheeks. Questions on that? All right, let's get our mouthpieces and water and get ready to roll. 2 claps in the ring. Woo!